decide now if we should do pie hard or peel.
It's not exactly dispatch.
Something wrong?
Yeah, I got it.
As I've explained to my sister numerous times, families like to
Go ahead and call the meeting to order. And can we start with the roll call, please?
Friedrich.
Here.
Himken.
Here.
Corey.
Yes.
Moyer.
Here.
Meyer.
Here.
Schumacher.
Here.
Search.
Great. That gives us a quorum. There we stand. We'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome, visitors. We've got a good crowd tonight. Great to see you all this evening. Thanks for joining us. Do we have any public comments? The floor is yours. Anybody? Nope. Okay. Moving on, correspondence, I believe, is going around in your packets. And we'll right into our consent agenda. Dr. Grody, if you'd walk us through that,
We
please.
have two resignations, David Kemp, custodian, and Christina Beaver, food service. We have one extracurricular assignment, Ty Wolf, who's currently our cross-country coach, who's gonna be the assistant track coach. And then we have the custodian and the paraprofessional to be posted as vacancies. And that is a very light consent agenda, but the administration recommends you approve that as presented.
Perfect. Any questions, concerns, or comments regarding consent agenda? Hearing none, maybe you'd like to make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Kelly. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Tyson. Roll call, please.
Moyer.
Yes.
Corey.
Yes.
Himken.
Yes.
Friedrich.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Schumacher.
Yes.
Search.
Yes.
Perfect. We'll move on to our building or administrative reports, our building report. Dr. Gocher?
I'm super excited tonight to talk about it. If you know, our special ed program here in Columbia has always been the foundation of inclusion, acceptance. And there is a group that has been going on at the high school called the Best Buddies program. And they have just elevated that philosophy to the high heavens. And it's just so exciting to watch it. And they are here tonight to talk about it and what they do. And also, because of what they've been doing at the high school, the middle school has also picked up a Best Buddies program. And I think, and they're going to talk a little bit about the high school, but I don't have a middle school here. But they started it about a month and a half ago, and they asked gen ed students who wanted to be a part of it. And I think they had 30 applicants and 30 kids interested to be involved with the students. But they're going to explain what the program is to you guys, and hope you enjoy. And we have lots of pictures, I think, too. Come on up.
The presentation is not working as of right now. It just went off.
Oh,
No.
And we do have
But at
lots
least
of
they're
pictures.
live here.
I don't know what happened. I don't know. Taylor, work your magic. Hi, Taylor.
I was like, oh, this went good.
Technical difficulty. We have two presentations tonight, and none of them.
Should we turn it off?
You
and
guys
turn
get
it
started
back
while
on?
I try this? Yeah, of course.
All right. Good evening, everybody. First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Skylar Durbin. I'm a current senior and the Best Buddies president at Columbia High School. First, I want to talk about what is Best Buddies and what it means to us. So, I want you guys to now imagine living in a world where you regularly feel invisible. You're excluded from friendships, excluded from jobs, and excluded from full participation. Sadly, for many individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, or IDDs, that's not a hypothetical, it's reality. That's why organizations like Best Buddies exist. Best Buddies is a global nonprofit organization dedicated to creating a world where people with IDD are included, not overlooked. Their mission is to build an international movement that fosters one-to-one friendships, promotes leadership development, supports inclusion in schools and communities, and encourages involvement for individuals with IDD. The goal is simple but powerful. Through Best Buddies, a person with an intellectual or developmental disability can find a friend, someone who sees them as a peer, who values them, and who shares real experiences. That connection can break through the isolation. Best Buddies is more than just a club, it's a community, a family, and a place where everyone belongs. At Columbia, we bring that mission to life by creating meaningful friendships, fun activities, and events where everyone can be themselves. Over the past 2 years, our chapter has put a lot of effort into planning events that bring people together. We've held many activities that were fun, inclusive, and that helped our buddies and peer buddies connect in real memorable ways. Now, Alaya can talk about some things that she personally has experienced through Best Buddies.
So this is my second year being in Best Buddies, and last year, at the beginning of the school year, I had no idea what it was. I knew it was a club at our school, but I had no idea what it all included. And then one of my best friends, Alina St. Clair, she invited me to go to one of the meetings, and she was like, "Oh, come with me, I want you to know what it's all about and stuff." So I came with her to one of the meetings, and it was absolutely amazing. I loved seeing how everybody interacted with each other at the meeting, and just how much of a safe space it was for our buddies. And that is also where I met Lucy. Lucy has changed my life for the better in so many ways. She has shown me truly different outputs on life and different ways to look out on life. And I couldn't have asked for a better girl to meet my junior year. And well, in our presentation, we have a screenshot off of Lucy's Facebook page. This year when we went to the Polar Express, me and one of my friends, Molly, we brought Lucy to by ourselves. We drove her, and we thought it was going to be a fun little experience, and it was. And little did I know that this was Lucy's first outing without her parents, and
That's awesome.
and I did not know about this until afterwards, but I kind of felt a little nervousness with her parents going to go pick her up and drop her off, but honestly, she did absolutely amazing. This was my favorite thing I have done, like any of my clubs that I'm in high school, and I just love being in Best Buddies and being included and making these memories with everybody and making sure that they are included in everything that they want to do.
Well, with that being said, each month our club meets during homeroom. So we enjoy time together, we get to interact and build relationships, we do several fun activities inside but also outside, as you can tell through the Polar Express. In our presentation we have a few photos from our different activities. Our first one we like to do throughout the year is Friendsgiving. It gives everyone a chance to sit down, share food, talk, and bond in like a relaxed family-style environment. It wasn't just about the food, it's about being present with each other, making new friends, and celebrating the start of the holiday season together. And our buddies in Miss Adair's class get to prepare the entire meal for us, which is very special, so they did that all for us, and we really appreciated that.
It was really good food.
It was. Do you want to talk about Polar Express?
Sure.
Okay.
So, I really proud of Best Buddies. I was going to thank them to with better support. I just made couple things with Mrs. Air. I did all my chores, like, well, yeah. So, okay, so on Polar Express, I always drink hot chocolate and eat cookies in a sauce Santa there, and then and then we just like go back next year. So everyone like respectful and respect each other, and we always read stories. And thank you for listening. I was bad for my Best Buddies because I seen them a very long time. And then I saw Jay Bobby there, I saw Mikey there. Yeah, I saw my friends there.
You want to build in your friendships?
Yes. And I just want to respect them for my Best Buddies because I really love my Best Buddy. And that's about it. So I love these people.
Sorry if it's going on, but we have a few more highlights. Another big highlight.
Thanksgiving Day. I know, we just love each other.
Alright, another big highlight has been our annual trip to the zoo, which gave everyone in our club who participated throughout the year the chance to go out into the community and actually spread more awareness. We got to explore, laugh, enjoy the day. It's probably my favorite throughout the year just because like it's just so like special to me to get out and see all of the interactions with other people just like you and me. And then another thing we got to participate in was the Best Buddies Friendship Walk. This event connects us with the larger Best Buddies movement, not just like our school, but schools around our community. This year our community had the most signed up walkers, and we actually got our school logo on the back of the walk t-shirts. So we participated with many schools around the St. Louis area and walked in support of the mission of Best Buddies, a mission to create a world where everyone, regardless of ability, is included in love. And of course, we had plenty of other outings throughout the years, including small hangouts, meetups, moments that might not seem big on their own, but really made an impact. Sometimes the little things like grabbing ice cream, going out to a game together, dancing with each other at prom, or just hanging out that create the strongest bonds. These past 2 years, I've been blessed with the opportunity to attend the Best Buddies Leadership Conference in Indiana over the summer, which has been an incredible experience. The Best Buddies Leadership Conference brings together thousands of student leaders, advisors, and volunteers from around the world. I mean, I met people from Saudi Arabia, Turkey, all with the same mission and goal in mind. I participated in workshops about leadership, inclusion, event planning, and how to create strong connections within our chapter. I learned how to better support individuals with IDD, how to run successful events, and how to build positive relationships in our school. Being surrounded by people who share the same mission and are so kind and considerate was extremely motivating. I wanted to bring this back to our chapter and to our community. helped me come back with new ideas, more confidence, and a much broader understanding of the impact Best Buddies has globally. It made me realize that even small moments we create, like saying hi to someone walking through the hallway or waving to someone at the grocery store, matters way more than we realize. Overall, Best Buddies has brought joy, friendship, and inclusion to Columbia High School. I'm grateful for the memories we've made, the relationships we've built, and the impact this club continues to have. I'm proud of what our chapter has accomplished, and as we look ahead, I hope we continue building this community, one where every student feels seen, valued, and included. Thank you for supporting our chapter, allowing us to come in and talk to you all, and for believing in the power of inclusion. Can you say thank you again?
Well, hold on, that's
Thank you guys. Thank you.
You did a great job, especially with the visual dot there.
Lots of
Maybe you guys can see the
If it
photos
pops
another
up, I'd
time.
love to get pictures. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much. We got a little out of order there, so I'd like to give those guys a chance to get early in the meeting so they don't have to endure the rest of this. So, you have a very important presentation. Two of them, exactly. First one is Mr. Joe McGinnis from the Collinsville Area Vocational Center.
How are we doing tonight, everybody?
Really well, and I apologize. I think you're going to have to go rogue if you're okay
That's
with
fine.
that.
That's
I will
You
share
got a
your
tough act to follow with those, eh?
It's an extremely tough act to follow, so, but they can do it, I can do it.
Would it be
so.
possible to move to the middle?
Absolutely. How you doing? I'm Joe McGinnis. I'm the director of the Collinsville Area Vocational Center. We're one of the 27 area career centers that are currently in Illinois. Coming tonight just to share what we do in Collinsville as an option potentially for Columbia students in the future. Currently we serve 12 school districts, starting with East Alton and Bethalto in the north, all the way down currently to Mascoutah and Dupont, and to St. Clair County. And then out east we go all the way to Lebanon. So we have 15 current programs: auto body, auto mechanics, building trades, electrical trades, cybersecurity, cosmetology, CNA, dental assisting, criminal justice, landscaping, urban agriculture. What else? I got a couple more. Walking down the hallway. No, thank you. Early childhood, K-12 teacher prep, and then we have some new programs that we're bringing online as a part of our expansion. So we are currently under construction, building a separate facility that will house our industrial programs, and then we'll be renovating our existing facility for that program expansion. So new programs that we'll have for next year is an HVAC program, EMT, and aviation mechanics. That takes us in about a 3-year future timeline, and a part of that timeline we're also looking at an avionics class, which is essentially wiring for airplanes. So as a part of our expansion, it allows us to bring on more students. We currently have 575 seats at our facility. With our program expansions and the renovations that we have going on, that'll take us up to 900 seats. So with that, we're trying to reach out and make sure that we're offering the opportunities that we have here at CAVC to all the neighboring districts. That was really quick. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer. Specifically if it comes to logistics, anything like that.
Where are you located?
So currently we're on the campus of Collinsville High School. Our expansion is across the street. So we'll have a tunnel that goes underneath Caseyville Road to get to both sides of our facilities.
It's like a ball field there now, right?
There's a football field there, yeah.
Okay.
And then if you happen to drive by, there's a ton of construction going on. They're currently building a sports complex behind the high school, and then our construction's going on, like I said, across the street.
Now, your aviation program, is that, I was just reading something last week on Granite City's program.
Yeah, so
Is it hand in hand with that, or is it on your own?
it'll be on our own. We'll be in partnership with SWIC on that, so that we can offer dual credit. We are not going to be a complete A&P program, but we'll be able to get them hours towards their A&P license. Strong interest in the area from Gulfstream and Sojay, Westar Aviation, which is in Bethalto, and then Boeing at both their Mascoutah campus and their St. Louis facility. Yep.
Can you touch on the student selection process? How do you select the students for your seats?
Absolutely. So as I said, we have 575 seats available. The past 2 years, we've had 800 applicants for those 575 seats, which is a good problem to have. At times, it's challenging that we have to turn students away. But as we've grown and kind of shifted how we operate and our outcomes at CAVC, our tightness with the local business industry has led us to say, all right, we're going to try to produce the best quality high school student that could be a future employee for all of those businesses that come and visit us every year, which ranges between 80 and 100. So for those programs that are very hotly contested, which auto mechanics, auto body, building trades are generally the top three, and they change in order on any given time. We have 44 seats for auto mechanics. This past year we had 96 applicants for that class. So what we do is we rank the students based on attendance. We do that because in talking with those businesses every single year and asking what do you value most in a new employee, almost every single one, the first answer they have is someone that's going to show up and be on time. So we also value that because that's the product that they're looking for. And it's also a way for us to help our area schools that are sending us students to push attendance at their level and make it a value that the students need to have. So for example, those 44 kids that got into auto mechanics for this year, student number 44, who I won't say is last, but they were the last one there on the list, missed 3 days of school, which as a lot of you probably know, for a high school student nowadays is very good. And we see that across almost all of our programs. That we have strong attendance, good grades, and very little discipline issues.
Did you do an intern program, or is everything on campus? Or
right now, everything is on campus except for our cosmetology program. We currently partner with the school in Fairview Heights, Precision Point School of Cosmetology. But as a part of our renovations, we'll be building a cosmetology classroom, and we'll bring that on campus. That'll allow us to increase the number of students we have in that program from 24 to 48. And then we are going to be trial running our first internship program with the Carpenters Union next year. We think it's going to be successful. So what we'll do there is kind of take our high-performing students out of the building trades program that came through as a junior and offer up that opportunity to them as a senior for them to, instead of building a house with us, we'll place them with a couple area contractors, and they'll run essentially their first year of an apprenticeship under the Carpenters Union. And that was, the first one that is available that we think we can manage well, and there's many more that are asking and waiting for us to make this first jump into it, but that is something that will be coming more in the future.
did you guys build houses then?
We do, yep. We're about 14 months per house. Currently we're building in a subdivision in Caseyville. This house will be done in, I'd say 2 weeks.
Wow.
So about the week after we get back from Christmas break, it'll be done. And then we're hopeful that our excavator has the foundation dug over Christmas break for the next one, which is right next door. So we've been waiting for about 8 weeks now.
That's so cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
Now, what about job placement?
So we like to tout that any student that walks through our doors, if they're interested in a job, we will have them a job before they leave. Already we had about 15 kids hired between auto mechanics and auto body in September, and that has just continued to go kind of crazy and throughout all of our programming. So yeah, that's kind of one of our missions is if by the end of the year, if a student's wanting to take that next step and have a career in one of our fields, that we're going to line them up with a good opportunity. And so far, we've been extremely successful with that.
Okay. I don't think it's going to work. We have a few internal classes, especially with construction trades. And I know when Mr. Reeves and I attended the tour with you, you talked about how it's not to take away from what we're doing on our current campus, but it deepens it. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Absolutely. So most of all of our partner schools have their own CT programs in-house. And what I always say to them is We're not here to take your programming or steal your students from you. We're here to be an augment to that, to enhance those opportunities for your students. Triad, for example, has a very robust welding program. They have 4 different welding classes that are available to their students. My message to them and my message to you is, if you have students that are highly interested in going into that trade as a career, have them go through all of your classes, have them come to us their senior year. We're going to get them more seat time, and we're going to get them access to those businesses to get them employed. And if it's a direct-to-work situation, you know, we'll be able to help facilitate that. If it's a career that requires post-secondary training or those next steps before the workforce, we have between 15 and 20 colleges a year, trade colleges that are coming through, presenting to our students and showing opportunities of that route that they can take as well. So we like to say that we're there to really get kids started in a career and set off and hopefully a great life, and to be able to come back and support their communities. And that's with our education prep program. That's something a lot of the school districts have started, is grow your own programming. Sometimes they are a little difficult to support, so that's why we are taking a regional approach to our program. And if students come in and take our ed prep class, they're getting 12 credit hours of dual credit through SWIC. We're currently in talks with SIUE on a accelerated pathway for any student that has taken both of our ed programs. And then if they are able to take a college English 1 and 2 in their home district as a dual credit as well, then SIU will offer them a 3-year pathway to be an educator versus a 4-year pathway. With that being said, what we do is we have the students come to us, but then we also place them back out in their district schools for observations and simulated student teaching experiences. Because as students go through and decide that they want to be an educator, when they get to college, they most likely won't step foot back in a high school or elementary classroom until they're a junior. And that's a lot of years of students to decide, is this for me, is this not for me, to change their mind. And we've seen time and time again that students get to that student teaching phase of college and get into a classroom and say, yeah, this wasn't for me. So we want to give them that experience up front so that it helps make sure that this is the right job and the right career choice for them.
Okay. Did you touch on cybersecurity and the support you give with certificates?
Yep. So we just purchased our first round of certificates for that this year. So we have 2 years of a cybersecurity program, and each year we offer the students to take 1 of 2 certifications. The CompTIA A+ and CompTIA Security Plus certificate. Both of those we pay for the students. CompTIA was just running a deal that if we bought them now, they offer the students a free voucher for a retest if needed. But if the student is able to take and pass both those certificate tests, they are directly employable right out of high school, generally making between $50,000 and $60,000. And that industry is very certificate driven, and students are able to drive their own ship and create their own path just by doing some homework on their end and taking more certificate tests. We also see a very strong interest in the military out of that class. We had 9 of our 27 students join the Air Force last year out of our cybersecurity program. And if they are able to gain and maintain a security clearance once they leave the military and enter the cyber field, it doubles and triples their salaries. So it's pretty impressive that you can have a 22, 23-year-old student that is no college debt, making in the mid 6 figures.
Well, thank you so much. You did that very well with the lack of technology. I have
And
your
your
presentation up
PowerPoint's
now.
back, so-
I know.
Yes.
Is there?
So
Are there any slides?
We got some pictures in there. You can go run through them really quick. Some of our CNA students, we just renovated their classroom, and as kind of a part of our expansion is we are working to have all of our classrooms sponsored by local business or a national business. So Anderson Hospital, who's located in Maryville, is sponsoring our CNA program, and they've actually changed some of their hiring policies so that they can hire students at 17 versus 18, because that was one of the things that we pointed out was there's still a decent amount of seniors that when they graduate in May aren't 18 yet. So they've changed their hiring policies to be able to capture those students. And if a student comes to us, gets their CNA, and then goes into Anderson directly through us, Anderson is committed to paying for them to go on and achieve their LPN or RN or even their BSN, depending on what that student wants to do. There's a list of our programs. That's Seth. He's painting a truck. Did a really good job on it. And then that's going to be our new campus there as a part of our industrial programming. So we'll be relatively split with 8 programs there. And then as we grow our existing campus, we should be up to 12 to 13 programs in our renovated facility. Top left, we got some of our education students working with 3rd graders at a STEM day. So those are some VR headsets, which are also available to Columbia through the Southwestern Illinois Leadership Council. You shoot them a message, they'll come down and run through a class of students through those. They have between 50 and 60 different career simulations on those VR headsets. Super cool. Landscaping students building a retaining wall. This is our building trades class, framing some basement stairs. There's a little sample of grinding, lots of grinding and welding. That is our current auto mechanics shop. It's about half of the view, this and the other half. And then our CNA class runs 2 blood drives every single year. So that's the students going around posing for pictures as they post that.
Awesome.
Then our CNA class, our dental assisting class, and the soon-to-be EMT class, those are our semester offerings. Everything else is a year long, and all of our class times run for 2.5 hours. So generally, and we're open for students to come in the morning or the afternoon, but generally we find that if a school chooses to send in the afternoon, they'll start their day, usually go first through 3rd periods at their home school. They come to us, and then they're done for the day after they're done with us. We're piloting 2 programs with Collinsville High School right now. It's a vocational English class, and then we're going through the curriculum process on a vocational math class. The vocational English class we rolled out for the first time this year. It's going very well, and we're hoping to be able to expand that to all of the districts that send us students, to be a way to help seniors out. That if it's a scheduling challenge at their home school, English being one of the required credits as a senior, that we'd be able to offer that. And we've tailored that to the working world. Students aren't writing papers and reading, Romeo and Juliet. They're reading technical manuals. Depending on if they're in a welding class, they're going to be reading some technical welding manuals. If they're in our nursing class, they're going to be reading nursing manuals. And then they also are learning how to write professional emails, have professional communication between themselves, their instructor, and then they just had to do a hands-on project, kind of stole it from science classes. They had to write the manual for a egg drop competition. And they each had, I think there was 8 groups per class. They each had to design their own egg drop, and there's a set of materials, and they had to write the directions for how a teacher would build the egg drop device, and then the teacher got a box, had to create that based on their instructions, could not do anything else but their instructions. And so of the 16 groups, there was a morning and an afternoon class. Of the 16 groups, we had 3 egg failures, but there was 13 successful drops off the 3rd story roof of the building. So that was a pretty challenging one for them.
Very good.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
All right, our next presentation is Mr. Travis Wellen from CUSD4 Boyle Accounting Firm.
See, Travis, you're supposed to do all the talking. My name is Keith Brinkman.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to make this too brief, so if you guys got questions, please ask. We really feel that you're in great hands with Jim and Jesse and Dr. Brody. They've been more than responsive. You know what I mean? So it's all been good. There are really no big entries or anything. I don't want to shortchange this. There are basically at the end of the day, there's 3 findings, and they're minuscule to me, but I don't want to leave and somebody say, well, they didn't tell us this. But, I mean, basically, one is one person didn't have their economic interest thing on file, right? 2 or 3 years ago, ISB wants you to put your activity funds and include that in your budget. So when you didn't do that, that caused you to spend over your budgeted amount technically. Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't mean too much to me, but that technically that's right. And then when we audit those federal monies, we pick idea monies, and all we're suggesting is that we're not saying anything was misspent. We're just saying, okay, well, here's some general ledger codes, or if you allocate that you can really just see where that federal money is, and you got one account number for it, that would be better. We met yesterday. They were all in agreement, I think, unless they changed their mind behind my back.
Yeah, the economic interest form is with our treasurer, and he's a chief business official at another district, so there just was, we didn't have the paperwork. The IDEA grant is really more of us indicating the revenue funds when we do a salary code. And so if we're paying the salary here, we want to make sure it's got a tag to it to IDEA so that they can have an easier time to back end it out. And so the monies were right. It was just that. And as far as the activity fund, Kim's like, yeah, no, we'll just throw that into the account. And so the budget over here for the activity fund and the actions in the activity funds will just get put into Fund 10, and then we won't have any issues then because we'll have it budgeted. So.
Right, from an overall concept, that doesn't even make common sense to me.
I will say that Sheffel Boyle did a great job of coming in and asking a lot of really good questions. They had Kim and Jesse kind of, okay, and answering things. But the checks and balances were there, and everything was answered well. And so I feel like we had a really good audit. So thank you.
Well, no, thank you. And I mean, Travis does all the work. The few times I was here, though, I got the inkling, though, they knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? And you can usually tell. And yesterday, what I like is they had drawn on the wall how to calculate a payroll check. And it sounds kind of simplistic, but it's not. So I'm kind of glad they care enough to do that. I mean, they can get complicated, it can be a big mess in a real big hurry. So I was just impressed. So I know it's not as exciting as Best Buddies or anything.
You have a draft copy of this.
Yeah.
If once you guys approve it tonight, he'll get us a real copy, and I'll send it to the
finalize
ROE
everything.
and everything.
You probably got to get, Travis will email you those things you got to sign off on, and if you want to go through them, but I mean.
Yeah, page 88 is just where the findings are. You can take this home with you and read all the numbers to your little heart's content. It's good to get some sleep.
Right. Does anybody have any questions? I don't want to be too brief, but usually you don't go on a school board to hear the accountant talk about it.
Adam, what you got?
Adam, there, I'll look to Adam. Mr. Hemken, what would you like to ask?
I have no questions. And that's a fantastic job on your part. That's a real feather in the cap.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Continue now with our assistant superintendent report.
Yes, a technical apology to our special ed department. I apologize. I will go through.
It's funny how it's working now, though.
I know. That was all our tech person over here. It was not me. I will go through those slides to bring some pictures to what was being spoken about. Obviously, a lot of amazing things are going on with our special ed department and the teachers in which flourish that every day. A lot of happy smiles. The Polar Express, which I think was a highlight that was spoken about. Of course, our annual ACE Olympics, the zoo. So a huge thank you also to Mrs. Gocher for helping make sure the department is successful. We appreciate you and all of your hard work. I wanted to touch base on kind of speaking on our vocational efforts with the high school. I am very happy to announce, and I already told Mrs. Corey about this. We have 2 pharmacy tech students that are interested in the program, and they have already filled out the CHS application for that and sent that to our school counselors, to which now the counselors reached out and said, what are our next steps? We are going to have them prepare their resume. They're going to get 2 teacher recommendation letters, and we are orchestrating interviews to have Mr. Corey come in and sit with myself and Mr. Reeves and a school counselor to have an interview before they go and do their internship hours at Corey Pharmacy and complete their online hours to become a certified pharmacy tech. I am beyond thrilled because this was a conversation as of last May, and it took a little while to get off the ground, but just like, patience is a virtue, and we're here and we're excited. And I'm very thankful for the Coreys to help us support in this effort because our students are excited. So I'm excited to see where that goes. The DuPo electrical pathway, I just wanted to touch base. We know that there has been some changes happening with the instructor at DuPo School District. As we get more information, we will share that. I shared some information with the board on some of the options for second semester. DuPo is doing all that they possibly can to ensure that they can continue that electrical pathway program. Especially for the end of this year. We are very thankful they were able to finish it up this semester so the students could finish the program, get their dual credit, and finish with a SWIC instructor. Again, I can't say enough to how hard DuPo is working with us and communicating with us to make sure we know how they're going to continue to help serve our students. Very thankful. And then I just want to finish up. Christmas break is right around the corner, and I'm already thinking about our in-service day on January 5th. We have our schedules all outlined for our staff. We do have PD and training for our staff with the ELA curriculum, in addition to continued collaboration efforts on how our high school and junior high, with them being singleton teachers is what we call them. Sometimes you just have one geometry teacher, so how do you help those teachers collaborate? We're going to get some of that training as well on January 5th. The other part and piece to that in-service day would be a co-collaboration with Sparta High School. Sparta High School reached out and asked if the Columbia ELA high school department would collaborate with them and talk about scope and sequence, what we're using, what they're using. I'm going to help facilitate that meeting via Google Meet that morning to really spearhead and see how we can collaborate amongst 2 districts. Some exciting things are on the forefront. Any questions? All right, that's all I have for tonight.
Last but not least, our superintendent's report.
Yeah, this is going to be somewhat brief. Everything happens for a reason, and it always works out for the best, but there were some technical difficulties with my posting of information regarding the e-learning plan, so we're not having a hearing tonight. We will do that on Tuesday, January 6th when we got out. I had no technical difficulties this time with the posting of the information because Casey was good enough to do it for me. Thank you, Casey. But the postings and the agendas and everything got out there to everyone. And so 6 p.m. on January 6th, Tuesday, we'll have our hearing and then we can vote on that. But we're also going to add some new classes for the high school to that agenda, correct?
There's one course.
There's
yes,
one course that we're going to
bringing,
add so that the kids can
for
look at
next
that
year.
as well. So it's not just a one-thing meeting. We'll actually have 2 things, so that made me feel better. Our skid steer has been ordered and is being delivered to the Fenton Fabic site, and I believe on Monday, Kurt Steve plans to go out and get that. The trailer that I sent you information for technically did not meet the specs. There was some communication issues there, so we're pulling that one from the agenda, and we will update you later on that. And there's no need for executive session, but that's pretty much my report.
Perfect, thank you. All right, got a little work for the board to do now. It's items for action. First one is the approval of the fiscal year 25 audit. We just read the report.
Yeah, you've heard the report. Administration recommends that you approve the audit as presented, and then when they send us the official draft, I will make sure it's posted to the ROE and all the other people. Bond counsel Chapman needs this because of the bond sales as well, so.
Perfect.
There's a few places I gotta send it to.
Any questions, concerns, or comments regarding the audit? Adam?
Good, because they left.
That's right.
It was very brief.
That's great. All right. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the fiscal year 25 audits?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Andrea. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Tyson. Roll call, please.
Friedrich,
Yes.
Himken,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Moyer,
Yes.
Search,
Yes.
Schumacher,
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes. All right, that approves. Next one is the approval for the 2025 tax levy.
And this was presented last month. There were no comments, no questions, no concerns about the tax levy. I'm not saying everyone loves their taxes, but administration recommends that you approve the tax levy as presented, and I will deliver it to the county courthouses tomorrow.
Perfect. Any questions or comments regarding the tax levy? Hearing none, maybe like to make a motion to approve the 2025 tax levy.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Adam. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Lisa. Roll call, please.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schumacher,
Yes.
Search,
Yes.
Friedrich,
Yes.
Himken,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Moyer.
Yes.
All right, item C is always a fun one, the approval for the early graduates.
Yeah, they have done everything that they need to graduate, and so administration recommends that you approve the early graduates. They will be able to come back and walk during our graduation, but they would go off and start earning money before they go off to college, or maybe even go off to college now.
Perfect. All right, any questions regarding the early graduates? Hearing none, maybe like to make a motion to approve the early graduates.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Andrew. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Noreen, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Perfect. All right, next one is to approve the student trip to Europe for 26-27.
And this is getting added so that we are on an every other year, and it's more stair-stepped, and so, do you have anything you want to add to that, or?
No, Mr. Post reached out because we are right now in the same cycle as the German and the Spanish trips, and he went ahead and he's did a survey to see if there would be student interest for this upcoming year, and there was. Probably not as many as attended the meeting. I believe 55 students attended, but he is hoping to get 20, possibly for next year, and then that would put us on an alternating year schedule with the German and Spanish students. So that is why it's on there this year, or on the agenda today.
So when you say next year, that's summer of 27?
Yes, yes. Sorry, I'm like school years. There's calendar years and school years.
Well, and next is
Yes.
open for interpretation.
Yes.
Good clarification.
Absolutely.
With those clarifications, administration recommends that you approve the trip.
Right, anybody have any questions on the student trip?
So we're talking about 20 students is the goal, and how many chaperones?
3. I think they are at 18 for this year, and they have 3 chaperones going.
And that's the plan for next year as well?
Yes, yes. Again, it's all based on interest, and if there's 25 that are interested and can make, then we would do adjustments accordingly. But the goal is 20, not less.
Or somewhere about there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good question. Anyone else? Hearing none, maybe you'd like to make a motion to approve the student trip for Europe for 26-27 school year.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Lisa. Second.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Friedrich,
Yes.
Himken,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Moyer,
Yes.
Search,
Yes.
Schumacher,
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes. All right, letter F is E is the approval for the bid for the driver education car.
We went out to bid for the driver's education car. Weber Chevrolet was the only bid that we received. Administration recommends that we approve their bid for a 2026 Chevrolet Trailblazer for front-wheel drive 4-door LS. It would be $25,327.
Any questions regarding the driver's ed car?
So this is, actually, it's an SUV, right?
It's, yeah, an SUV-esque type of thing, yeah. All the cars look the same to me.
Which is probably not a bad idea because SUVs are a little bit more popular than cars these days, so. I think
You also want
kids
your
a
new
little bit more
drivers in a bigger car than a tiny little thing that could.
withstand a crash.
Yeah.
I still know how to parallel park a big car. I think it's good to have a.
Well, I mean, they're pretty small vehicles,
Sure.
but
Yeah,
I just,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, bigger than a driver's ed car that we've had. Right.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Mhm.
I think it's a little more compact.
Yeah, I
Just
bet
the
it- I
cars
bet
we
the
have are a
wheelbase
little
is
bit
smaller.
longer.
Yeah, but you're right.
I mean,
They're just
it's
really
still-
not
it's
making
still a
sedans
4-passenger.
anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, the market's
So-
getting pretty small.
Yeah. Any other questions, concerns? Here, nobody like to make a motion to approve the purchase of a driver's education car.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Noreen. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Andrea. Roll call, please.
Search.
Yes.
Schumacher.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Moyer.
Yes.
Corey.
Yes.
Himkin.
Yes.
Friedick.
Yes.
All right. Dr. Grody mentioned earlier the approval for the hydraulic trailer is going to be tabled. Basically, the specs that we received were not exactly what we were looking for. We're looking for an equipment trailer that's going to haul a skid steer, which is considerable weight and needs to be built correctly. We don't want to cheap out and have to buy another trailer in a couple of years. We want to buy something substantial. It's still going to be, I believe, what was it, 2 months ago? The board approved the purchase of a skid steer and a trailer, so we're going to be well within the, if I remember, I think it was 75,000. We're going to be well under that with the skid steer and the trailer, so.
And attachments.
And attachments, yes. Everything. We don't compromise. We want it all, so.
What are we
Scooped
doing
it.
though to get it? Because here we are in the thick of just, we could get hammered with ice again.
Pretty quick, so.
The skid steer we're actually getting on Monday.
Yeah, skid steer will be
So-
here on
Don't we
Monday,
need the
so.
trailer to move it?
We're going to borrow a trailer
Okay.
to move it, to get it here.
Yeah.
Mr. Myers is gonna
Okay.
allow us.
Okay.
For 3 other campuses, you wouldn't put it on the trailer anyway, so it'd only
Right.
be to go up to Eagle View.
Yeah.
It's the only time we would trailer it if there's adverse weather anyway.
And what they've done
Otherwise,
before
just
to
drive.
get the trailer, they kind of go down, they do this sometimes with the mowers. I'm not thrilled about it, but they'll go behind Ace from Eagle View, that back on those roads to Ace to the park, and then they'll take the park over behind the, where there used to be a utility, you know, where that path goes
The
behind.
maintenance shed back there.
Yeah, the maintenance shed, thank you. Which is not ideal, but it's, so.
It's better than trying to trailer a heavy vehicle during bad weather.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
exactly
didn't
right.
know how they
Yeah.
plan to do that. So, okay.
Well, I guess technically, and I guess we should have the board consensus with this one, so the board did approve the expenditure of the trailer. Our base thing is the bid process, so we do need to redo the bids, and I've identified 3 different manufacturers that I think qualify, so I think we're gonna reach back out to theirs. Since it is within our budget, is the board okay with, once we get the 3 bids, we take the best bid and go ahead and do it? That way we're not into
Meaning I'll buy
January.
the trailer and then bring the bids for you to approve in January.
We've already approved the purchase.
Not
so-
on the 6th, but in January.
Right.
I'm fine.
Does anybody have any problem with that? So we'll get a little sped up.
No, we approved it not to exceed, so
Correct, yes.
as long as we go with the lowest bidder.
Perfect.
We just wanted to be transparent. We don't want anything to.
Just gonna get in trouble.
That's right.
It's all good.
Cool. And I'd like to see some enhancements since we got the skid steer at a really good price. It's a modern 2022, 21, 22.
21, 22,
So
whatever.
it's
it
only a
takes.
couple years old, only has 1,000 hours on it. Ideal, enclosed cab, heat, air, backup cameras, everything. So it took a little while to get it again. I mean, this is a $100,000 machine and we're getting for less than half that price. So
Yeah, I think it's
it paid off to
42.
wait a couple years, yeah, and get exactly what we want. I know there was some disappointment where we wish we had this done earlier in the year, but this is one of the things that we kind of backed off and made sure we got the right deal and didn't really rush into things. So sorry it took so long, but we were picky.
It's all right.
All right. So we're going to table that one. Next is our facility study. Our discussion items. We're going to start with the facility study.
Monday, they will be closing up the, what we're calling the temporary door into the choir room. They've been, that one wall by the greenhouse where you see the big hole, that's gonna get closed up on Monday, or they're gonna start closing it up on Monday, so that they can get the outside facade there. But that means that all the lifts that are inside of the auditorium and everything are coming out. It's really starting to look, when you walk around the inside, like an auditorium. Do you have any comments, or
No,
you or Greg? I mean, our last walkthrough, they've really made some progress.
yeah, there's a lot of movement going on at the moment, finishing things, literally working over the top of each other, and just the way construction in a big building works. But the classrooms they look amazing. The residence floors in all of our labs and all that, it really does. It's really impressive and the classrooms are going to be phenomenal for, not only just looking nice, but increasing our educational capabilities. Having all of our vents and stuff when we walk through with the, the insurance guy.
Yeah.
That when we walked through, he was
Our builder's risk.
Yeah, the builder's risk. Looking at all the stuff as far as the vents and all the, safety equipment that we've got in there. I mean, we are light years ahead of where we are currently. As soon as we can move into those classrooms, and then also our plans for the spring and the summer of actually moving our band and choir over into their new space, and then being able to do all of our renovations over the summer. So I'm really looking forward to the next 6 months when all this kind of starts really coming to a close, and you'll see all the fruits of the labor. But I mean, even if you just walk into the lobby of the high school right now, you can feel the difference there, and then once we are done, then all of the flooring will be the same throughout the hallways, the common spaces. I mean, the entire look and feel of the school is going to be completely different by the end of the year. So
I believe January 8th is when we walk through to get partial occupancy. And the goal with that is once we get partial occupancy, the students will be able to go into the auditorium and start practicing. There will not be chairs in the auditorium at that point, but they'll be able to get on the stage. The stage will have had the wood flooring installed and every stuff so that they can start playing. And then by February 15th, they will be completely and utterly done with the chairs and everything for the March, I'm not sure the exact date, debut of Mamma Mia.
But we're also looking at an open house in mid-February at some point?
Yes.
For the community?
Once we've got full occupancy, we will have an open house and just let everybody kind of walk in and wander and see how it all looks.
That's through the city. You're saying the city is doing occupancy permit?
No, we go through the regional office of education, so our architects and the ROE issue the occupancy. And so they go through.
The city doesn't have to do a walkthrough?
No. Buildings all get done via the regional office
A building
for
permit.
schools. That's an interesting thing was if we would have done that cell tower, because that's not for educational purposes, we would have needed the city to do any zoning or whatnot on that. But as far as if it's an educational facility, then it is not the city, it is this regional
And does, like,
office.
the fire department, do they do a walkthrough?
The fire marshal is part of that. But the fire marshal works then with the ROE.
The state fire.
Yeah, the state fire marshal.
But they've already signed off on the plan, so as long as it's built to plan, then there's no concern of there being, a hiccup. So-
But our SRO officer will get all the emergency responders so that they're familiar with the building. Should they have to come in, they know where everything is. And so.
And I think I don't know if the fire marshal did an official walkthrough, but weren't they here a few weeks ago? Just
They were for their annual.
they
Every year the fire marshal comes through, and so when he did the yearly check at the high school, he walked through the new construction. And
I think that's good.
looked at all
I thought
that.
he was here a few weeks ago.
How many AEDs, or do we have any AEDs in this new part of the building?
We will get one for the auditorium. Any place that you have an audience, you're supposed to have an AED for it, so we'll have one for the auditorium. There'll definitely be one in the gym.
So perhaps 3
Yeah.
in the building?
Probably 3 more, because there are already some in there. Our nurses department really handles that. So.
Anything else? All right, thank you for that update. Go on to individual board member comments. Anybody have anything you want to contribute tonight? No? All right. Board President's prerogative, I don't have anything either. Dr. Grody said they have no executive session this evening.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Exactly. All right, so no actions of executive session. We're gonna have one. Last thing is motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Adam. Second?
Second.
Thank Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that concludes our meeting, 7:56 PM. Thank you for joining us.